I am Andrew Duncan, your host, and I've got Mike Yates with Atlantic Bay Mortgage and Bob Henriquez and Al Noto from the Hillsborough County Property Appraiser's office. We're going to delve a lot into property taxes today. It's an ongoing conversation and something this time of year that seems to be important and on a lot of people's minds as exemptions come due. And Bob, I wanted to start with you and Al and specifically, give a reminder to people out there about the exemptions, the deadlines, and the importance of that.
Absolutely, Andrew. It's a pleasure to be on with you as always, and this is an opportune time for us to be on. We're March 1st, which is our deadline, statutory deadline.
So a couple of weeks.
Exemptions it's coming up quickly. I will let you know we do take late filed applications for exemptions. The statutory deadline is March, but the reality is our deadline actually goes out all the way until trim notices come out. But obviously we'd rather folks get them in early if possible.
And so some of the exemptions, obviously that's all of the exemptions that are due March 1st. So whether it's HomeStead, I know there's a disabled veterans exemption, there's a whole litany of exemptions. The one that's obviously most on people's mind is the HomeStead exemption, because that's the one that protects people that are homeowners and owner occupying their residence.
That's right. I mean, that's the one that most folks know about, take advantage of. Up to $50,000 on their primary residence. So that's the big one. But there's a myriad of other ones out there, including widower, surviving spouse of combat veterans, people that have been disabled in line of duty, first responders. All of that's on our website, or somebody can give us a call, and we can go through it. And
was the first responders one? Was that one was that one added recently? Was that a vote? Mm-hmm. I thought I remembered seeing that one was added.
Well,
recently.
there actually is a first responders one that was passed in the the election.
Correct.
In November. And that there's actually implementing language going through the legislature this year that'll be implemented. Folks can apply for it. We're still trying to figure out exactly how it's going to be implemented.
I was really happy to see that, because I think that's certainly something that a lot of times they get overlooked, but they're putting themselves in harm's way, and I think it's pretty cool to be able to have that opportunity for them. And the exemption process, I think, it's all on hcpafl.org. It's all on the website. People can go on, file exemptions, their homestead, all that stuff is all online.
Absolutely, or come in and see us at downtown in one of our branch offices. But I think one of the things that's very important for us to, and I've said this a number of times, we do exhaustive work trying to find folks that are, quote, gaming the system, perhaps, that are taking advantage of exemptions that they shouldn't, and that's important. But I think equally or more important is that we make sure that everyone that is entitled statutorily or constitutionally to a tax break or exemption is aware of it and is taking advantage of it. So we're really trying to find ways within our system and the way that we reach out to people in the community to make sure that they know, whether they be a senior citizen, combat, from somebody that served in the military, whatever it may be, that if they're entitled to something, that they're getting that break.
So if you did buy a home, if you bought a home recently, or even if you bought a home we've had it happen where somebody bought a home with us a couple of years ago and then realized they didn't have it on there. And you used to have the title companies in Tampa Bay used to fill out the application for people at closing, but apparently there were a few mistakes over the years, a little bit of liability, so most of them stopped doing it. And so now the onus is really on the purchaser after closing to make sure they follow up and do it. So it's always a good idea to go and check. It's very, you can go on the website, you can go to HCPFL, you can see if that exemption's there or not. But if you bought a home recently, it's certainly something to follow up and check up on. Even if you contacted your realtor, most should know the process and kind of the websites to go to. I know, we talked about this before. But, in a market like today where things have improved so much, you do have a lot of new agents getting into the business that sometimes maybe don't know the process or have those answers, and that can sometimes be a challenge for consumers too, because they don't know, they don't know what to tell someone, because maybe they're not a homeowner either, and that's always a struggle when the market improves and we see this huge upsurge in the number of realtors jumping into the
You've got first-time home buyers or folks that maybe haven't bought a home in an awful long time, all of it that sometimes things kind of fall through the cracks, but we're doing everything that we can, trying to, things like this show, outreach within the community to make sure folks know. We're actually talking, we send a sales verification letter out, so we're well aware of any new sales that take place out there in the market, obviously as part of our process. We're looking at ways that maybe we can put some reminders, some information, maybe put something additionally within the trim notice that comes out, just reminding people if you've bought a home recently, if you've sold a home, You know, the questions about portability come up, just whatever we can do to get the information out there.
And I think one thing that's important, people know the exemption, so it knocks down your assessed value. But another really important part of the homestead exemption is it limits your property taxes from having these huge surges. So, you know, as values are rising in Tampa Bay, you know, that's something that's really important, that a primary owner gets a greater benefit than an investment or rental property owner. I think it's 3%. The max is 3% per year that the taxes can go up.
3% or CPI, whichever is higher. Now, interestingly, the last few years, the CPI, which is an inflation rate, has been very, very low. I think it was 0.65% last year. It's 2.1% this year.
So that's it. So that's the
inflation's
number.
back a little bit, and so that's gonna cause a little bit of a surge in terms of value. And it's important that people realize those things. And what we're getting a lot now is that folks are buying homes, and for that first year, depending on when you buy the home, you literally are still paying the taxes that are owed for
From the
previous owner.
Correct.
And then come their first tax bill, they'll get a trim notice from us in September. November comes the tax bill, and all of a sudden their mortgage has gone up a significant amount, and then they're calling us, they're calling you guys.
Yeah,
saying,
I'm sure
I
they
get
all
that
like to.
call a lot.
Well,
Yeah,
it's funny,
they're
Mike,
calling
and
Mike,
it's
and
interesting.
then
They're calling the mortgage owner saying, "Hey, what'd you do, buddy? You messed me
Right,
up
yeah, I
here."
get that call a lot, especially around this time of year when
Yeah,
the
it's really
tax bills
important.
come out.
Yeah.